Hello friends, happy Monday. I hope you are all having a great day. In today's video, I have my budget results for the week of February 17th. We are going to take a look at all of my transactions. We're going to go into my wallet, really get into the nitty-gritty of what I spent my money on this week, and see if we stuck to that budget. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. I am in my Budget by Paycheck workbook. I have the worksheets printed on 28-pound paper, punched with an arc punch, and put into a Happy Planner disc binding system, which I love. And I'm using a Parkoo erasable pen in pink if I am over budget, or I'm sorry, if I am under budget, and then if I am over budget, I'm going to use this blue color. I like to write in two different colors so that I can easily differentiate between, what I did right and what I did wrong. So it's always my hope that I don't have to use this pen, the debt pen, but we'll have to see. So, in addition to my Budget by Paycheck workbook, I also have here my monthly planner from Erin Condren, where I keep track of all of my transactions. And we are looking at everything from the 16th here through the 22nd. So that is the week we're looking at. I have all of my transactions put in here. I use a color coding system to keep track of my transactions, so if I pay a bill, I will write that on a blue sticker and put it down. If I get groceries, I use this pink color. This gray color is for any extra debt payments I make. This kind of light purpley color is where I put my gas transactions. This dark purple is for my personal money. Anytime that I spend my spending money, I use that dark purple color. This bright yellow is eating out. This green is miscellaneous. I put anything that is taken out of my sinking funds in orange, and anything unbudgeted goes in pink. So now that we have sort of done the rundown, let's go ahead and get started with tracking my transactions. So I'm going to zoom you guys in a bit so that you can see a little bit better. And we're just going to start out with the first thing on the list, which is grocery. So I budgeted $200 for groceries. That is higher than my typical grocery budget. And you guys, I still am over budget, I think. I have been spending like a crazy person on groceries the last few weeks. So when I sit down and write out my budget for next week, we're going to talk a little bit about what I'm planning to do to take care of that. Because anytime that I am consistently over budget in a category, that tells me that I need to reevaluate the budget and decide if I'm going to raise the budget or if I'm going to, try to cut back my spending or what I'm going to do to counteract that. So for now, let's just go ahead and add up my grocery transactions. You can see there's quite a few in this pink color. And I'm going to open up my calculator here. And we're going to just calculate this up. So we have Dollar General for $10.75, Meijer for $152.86, and Walmart for $71.47. So that's $235.08. Now it's not quite as bad as that because I did buy my mother-in-law a bag of cat food and she did reimburse me $20 for that. So technically, I only spent $215.08. So it's still over budget, but not quite as bad. But yeah, it's definitely a problem. So unfortunately, we're going to have to write in this blue color. And I'm just going to write the actual total here next to my budgeted amount. $215.08. All right, next up, we have Amazon. And for Amazon, this is a minimum payment on my Amazon credit card. We are actively on a debt-free journey, trying to pay off all of our debt by the end of 2021. And so the way that we have chosen to tackle our debt is to pay the minimum payments on all of our cards except for the one card that we're kind of focusing on. And for that card, we throw lots of extra money at it. This Amazon card is not the card we're currently working on, so it just got the minimum payment of $175. And as you can see here, I did pay that $175. It's checked off, which means that has already come out of our account. And I'm actually, while I'm here, going to go ahead and check off these grocery transactions so that I know I tracked them. So yeah, that was $175. That's exactly what I budgeted, so we are under budget there. Or at least we're not over budget. All right, next up we have Lowe's. This is another minimum payment on a credit card. This is the credit card that we just used to buy our refrigerator. We're paying no interest on this credit card, and we have 12 months interest free on this. So that's really good. This likely will be a credit card that we tackle later on in the year. Since we're not paying interest on it, we're not going to worry about it for a little bit, but we do have to make the minimum payment. So that I budgeted $30 for, and it actually came out at $29. So we are $1 under budget, which will help offset those groceries a little tiny bit. Okay, next we have car insurance. I budgeted $165 for that. As you can see here, the actual amount is $164.71. Now, I have not checked this off because this actually has not cleared my account yet. We paid this bill a little bit early. So I set aside this money for this bill, but it hasn't come out yet, and that's why this has not been checked off, just to differentiate that. Next, we have a Subaru payment. I budgeted $390 for that, and that came out, and it's checked off, so that has cleared my account, and that's $386.91. So under budget there. And this last bill here is in black, and I wrote it in black so that I would remember. I added this after I filmed my video last week. I just totally forgot to write it in last week when I was doing my budget. I remembered, though, before it came time to pay all the bills. So I put it in. This was covered. I just forgot to talk to you guys about it last week. So I budgeted $35 for this, and it came out at $33.26. Or it actually hasn't come out yet, but that's what the bill is. And that is due to come out, I think, on the 23rd of this month. So once these bills clear, they'll get checked off, and that's how I will know that they've been paid. But if they're in here, that means I have the money in the account ready to go. So $33.26 for bike insurance. So we're just going to go ahead and add up this bill total here and figure out how much we are over budget, because I think even though we were under budget in some of these other categories, I don't think we were under by quite enough to make up the difference. So we'll see. $215.08 plus $175 plus $29, $164.71 plus $386.91 plus $33.26 is $1,003.96. So we are over budget for this bill category, unfortunately. I budgeted $995, and we came in at $1,003.96, which means that we are $8.96 over budget. So this $8.96 we're going to have to come up with to make sure that all of my numbers are evened out and I'm not over budget overall. So we'll keep this in mind and we'll move on to the next category, which is our cash envelopes. So at the start of every single week, I go to the bank and I pull out cash for my cash envelopes, and I stuff my envelopes and get it all ready for the week. So that's what I did. I went in, I pulled out the cash, and throughout the week, as I have needed to spend the money, I just go into my cash envelopes, use the cash, and you know, when I run out of money, I'm done spending in that category. That's how I do my cash envelopes. So the first of these cash envelopes is actually not an envelope at all. I just pull $40 out of the bank for my husband. I give that to him at the start of the week. I don't ever expect him to give any money back or give me receipts or anything. I just give him that $40. It's his to do with what he pleases. If he has anything left over, he just rolls it over into the next week. So this is always as budgeted. Next up, I have my spending money. And just like my husband, I get $40. I stick it in my envelope, and because I am who I am, I actually keep track of my spending, even though I could easily just spend the money and do, like I said, stop spending in that category. I do like to keep track, so I track my spending in these purple stickers because purple is my favorite color. So we're gonna add this up. On the 17th, I spent $17 on Etsy. I ordered some stickers from Caffeinated Kate Printables and a few other little odds and ends. And then on the 18th, I spent $14 at Amazon. And if I'm not mistaken, that's all, yes, that's all of my transactions for the week. So I spent $31. Since I budgeted $40 and I only spent $31, that means I should have $9 left over. So I'm gonna go into my spending envelope here, which is this first one. Sorry about the glare from the ring light. And I should have $9 left in here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, this $9, I'm going to stick into my deposit envelope to cover this overage right here. So I was almost $9 over budget in my bills category. This $9 is gonna cover that, and that's gonna even out. So this back here is my deposit envelope. This is all the cash that I need to take to the bank to true up my account. So I'm just going to stick this money in here with some other cash that I need to deposit. And that's gonna mean that we canceled out this overage from the bills. Next up, we have gas. So gas, I also budget $40 for. I give myself $40 at the start of the week, and I just use it to fill up the tank as needed. As you can see here, on Saturday, I put $32 into my gas tank, which means that we are, once again, under budget. I budgeted $40, we spent $32. That means I should have $8 left in my gas envelope. 5, 6, 7, 8, and I do. So this money is actually going to go into my gas sinking fund, which I neglected to bring out here. So give me just a second to grab my accordion folder. Anytime that I have extra gas money for a while, I'm going to be sticking it into my gas sinking fund. Gas prices have gone up so much, so fast. And so even though I budget $40 every single week, sometimes we might need more than that, especially in the summertime. I know we tend to drive a lot more. We go back and forth to our campground, and so it just may come a situation where we need more than $40 in gas. And so anytime I have extra money, we're gonna put it into the gas sinking fund. Let me go grab that envelope, BRB. All right, so this is the accordion folder where I keep all of my sinking funds, and I have a tab in here marked gasoline. So I'm just gonna go in there and grab out my gas sinking fund, which I have right here. So right now my gas sinking fund has $185 in it. And we're gonna add 8 more today. So today is February 22nd. We are adding $8 for a total of $193. So anytime that I take money out or add money to a sinking fund, I always count it just to make sure that everything is as expected. So we're gonna do that quickly here. 50, 100, 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 91, 92, 93. So I will likely continue to add any extra money from my gas fund into this gasoline sinking fund until I reach I don't know, like maybe $300, just so that I have plenty of extra gas money should I need it. So I had stopped adding money to this for a while when gas prices were super low, and I wanted to focus on sending more to my debt, but since gas prices have gone back up, I need to start focusing on this again. I don't typically add money to this like I would a regular sinking fund, just throw an extra $20 in here. Typically this is just funded by anything that I have extra at the end of a week. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to get this back into my accordion folder. And we will move on to eating out. So for eating out, I budgeted $25, but I actually am doing a no eating out challenge. I've been challenging myself to not eat out at all in the month of February. I still put the money in the envelope just in case I don't meet that challenge, but I'm happy to report that there are still no yellow stickers in my planner, and that means I spent nothing, and there should be $25 still in my eating out envelope, and indeed there is. So this $25 is going to go towards an extra debt payment. This is the whole point of me not eating out in February, was to take that money I would have spent on eating out and put it towards an extra debt payment. So for now, I'm going to stick this off to the side, and we're going to move on to miscellaneous. So for miscellaneous, I budgeted $25. As I mentioned before, my miscellaneous transactions are in this green color, and you can see we spent 23 of those $25. So there should only be a couple of dollars left here in my envelope, and that's exactly what we have. So $2. It's not a whole lot, but we're going to add this to the 25 from eating out, and we're going to have 27 extra dollars to pay towards debt. So anytime I have extra money that I'm putting towards debt, I stick it right here in this debt snowball envelope. You can see there's quite a bit of money in there that I've collected throughout the month, and you guys are going to see a debt snowball update later on this week. So we're going to take this money, we're going to make an extra debt payment, and I'll update you guys on how much debt we have paid off in February. So be on the lookout for that video. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so you don't miss it. Alright, so we spent 23 in miscellaneous. So I want to just get a quick tally of how much we actually spent, and then I'll leave myself a little note and tell myself what I did with that extra money. That's the way I've been doing it lately, and it's been working out great. So 40 plus 31 plus 32 plus 23 means of the $170, we had $44 left over. Now I'm actually going to flip over because I'm going to have to leave myself a note right here under this money thoughts section. I'm going to say what I did with that extra money. So we said $8 went to the gas sinking fund. We said $9 went to bills to cover the overage. And what did we say went to my debt snowball? 27? Is that right? Probably should have been writing this down as I went. So let's just add that up really quick and make sure that accounts for that full $44 that we said we had left over. 8 plus 9 plus 27 is 44. So that is accurate. And this is, I'm just going to mark that this is left over from cash envelopes. And that way I can just glance at this later on and see where that money went. Alright, now we're going to flip back and continue kind of reconciling my budget. The rest of this though goes pretty quick because this has already all been accounted for. So, for Austin, for sinking funds is what we are working on now. So for Austin, we did put $20 into his envelope. Anniversary got 20 as well, as did clothing, haircuts, holidays, and school expenses. If you watched my cash envelope stuffing, you would have seen that. I will link it above if you missed it. For the debt snowball payment, you can see here I did in fact make a $173 payment as anticipated, which is, you know, awesome. Very happy with that. We won't have anything extra to debt. I use this extra debt line item here to account for anything extra that I have in this bills category. Typically, if I come in under budget, anything I have left over would go on this extra debt line item, and that would get paid as an extra debt payment, but because we were over budget, we have nothing today. Now, you guys saw I did set aside some money to go towards debt, but I'm not making that payment today, so we're not including it. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. Under this line item. That will be accounted for later on when I do my debt snowball update. I don't put anything in this actual category until, you know, I've actually paid the extra debt, so as not to confuse myself. Alright, for Savopoly, I did put $24 into that. I did put $15 into 52-week savings, and my Switch savings did get $10. Forgot to total this up, so let's do it real quick. 24 plus 15 plus 10 is $49 into savings this week. And that, my friends, is everything for my budget results video. So even though we were a little bit over budget here, I was able to compensate for that with leftover money I had in my cash envelopes. So overall, I'm going to consider this a really good week. I'm definitely going to keep in mind, though, that this grocery budget has gotten out of control and I need to figure out how to rein that in. I will talk to you guys all about that in my upcoming budget video for the last paycheck in February, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love it if you would take a minute and click the thumbs up button. That really helps me out. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video. I post new budgeting and lifestyle content here on my channel every single week. I'd love to have you come back. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!